How do I? Where's the link
On
to
the
be
bottom
tweeted?
where it says 0 viewers, we can link
Mm,
to the YouTube page. People can just watch live if they want. I'll
Where
link.
it says is it where it says choose links? Because I don't have one that says zero viewers.
Oh,
Not that I
okay.
can see,
Interesting.
anyways.
Yeah, maybe choose links. For me, at the bottom, underneath where it says BRB Boom 84, it says that I can pick some links.
Where do you see BRB 84? I'm so
Bottom,
confused.
bottom right. It may be different for me since I'm hosting,
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
but it's on the bottom right, underneath where your picture is and
Oh
my
no, this
picture,
this
little
this is
thumbnails.
if I want to share things with you guys from my Google Drive. No,
Oh, I see.
I'm not
Okay.
doing that.
Please, please don't share. Although
I'm not doing that.
I shared a really cool link to a picture of a volcano erupting from space, and that's pretty cool.
Here, I'll share that with
So
you
that's
guys.
pretty cool.
Bet you missed that. Chat, screen share now. So showcase, Q&A, control room, draw, Google Effects, YouTube, more apps now. I'm not
Okay,
sure
I'm gonna
if you
tweet out
share
the YouTube.
if you tweet it
I'll
out on YouTube
retweet that.
then or on Twitter I can retweet you then. That's the same diff.
I'll do that, and then I'll do the YouTube page also.
Yeah, whoever was just typing right there sounded like they were typing in a basement with metal blocks on cement or something. That was like the craziest sound. You're like jump, 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 jump,
It
jump,
must
jump,
have been
jump.
me. I'm typing so hard.
It was
Sounds like
you're the
Skrillex
hardest
typing.
typer.
Yep. All right. Well, we should just probably start. We're not gonna wait for nobody, right?
Nah, let's just go.
All right.
Yeah, let me
Restart
test.
Audacity so that it's not an idiot.
Testing the Mikey phones.
Test on it. Bladow.
Wake up! We're recording Boom.
It works.
I just sent a text or a tweet to Frald fan telling him to wake up. We're recording Boom live. He can't miss this. That'll be like his biggest regret of all time if he misses it.
He's got to be asleep, right? I assume.
What's that?
Where does he live?
He's in
England?
Britland.
He's in Britland.
Yeah,
All right.
I think it's like morning there or something. I don't know. Can't
Yeah.
remember how it works.
It's always morning in Britland.
It's morning in America. All right. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Let me just.
All right, I'm ready.
My Audacity's up actually. Audacity. My Audacity's up, girls.
My audacity. See, what had happened was.
So you guys have a word and a thug.
Yeah.
Oh, F. I got a word. Where's my word?
You could
Give me
do
a
you
second.
could do thug.
Yeah, well, I need a thug. Yeah. Can I do
Yeah.
thug this week? Is that all right?
This quarter.
Hey, Cameron, do you know what Kendrick means at the end of the song "I" when he's like talking to
No.
everybody, and he's all, "It's Mando. It's Mando, right? What does Mando mean?
You're not on camera.
Is that like Brondo? What is he?"
What is Brondo? I don't even know what that is.
Have you not seen Idiocracy?
No, I haven't.
Oh gosh, you got to see Idiocracy. That's the greatest
No.
movie about the future current America ever. It's like happening. Like Idiocracy basically predicted Trump. It's
Oh,
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
it's a Mike Judge movie. Definitely should be watched.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I have one.
Cool.
Yeah, let's record
Okay.
and just see
Okay.
where the night takes us.
84. Has anyone joined? I can't see on my tablet, I don't think.
It says no one's joined, so just like we planned.
Just like we hoped. All right.
Yeah, I don't really want people watching this anyways.
I don't know why we did this. It doesn't matter. All right.
Okay, I am record.
I'm recording.
I'm recording as well.
And
have been.
5, 4,
Four,
3,
three,
2,
two,
1.
one.
Mark. Welcome, everybody. It's episode 84 of the Big Red Barrel Boom. I'm Doc Steinhawk Cars, and wouldn't you know it, I'm all tingly inside.
You look tingly outside.
Do I?
Yeah.
I may want to get that checked out. Maybe I'll go to Mexico and get it checked out, and then it won't get checked out right, and then I'll have to go back a few times.
Oh, you want us to start hating each other quickly and early in the podcast.
Waka waka. Anywho, you know, we got some smelly pirate, and I'm actually thrown off a little bit because Yoshi hasn't spoken yet. But I think we got Yoshi. Yoshi, are you there? You got to record with us tonight?
Yeah,
Nope.
I'm here. Hi.
Okay.
Waving. You waved.
I just wanted you guys to have a chance to talk because that's all you're gonna get.
It's over now.
Oh, when Kendrick says Mando, he means mandatory. All right. Cool.
It is Mando. Yeah, that makes sense.
I love that. I'm gonna start using that on the daily in the wild.
It's either really, really cool and dope that he says that, or it's like that could be a 15-year-old girl. Like
It doesn't.
you have to come to my party this weekend. It's Totes Mando.
It's Totes Mando.
That's true. It's Totes Mando.
TBH, it's Totes Mando. I'll be
Mando
bad AF.
Calrissian.
Anyways, all right. Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to record. Funny story. So we recorded a boom a couple nights ago with Vincent, and Dogs. I was like, "Oh, we should record boom."
Yeah.
I love it. Wait, what happened? You guys are okay. Let's do one. I have songs for it.
That is not how I expected that story to go either.
No, I will say, Smelly played very much his role as a therapist in that situation, where I was like, "Hey, are you guys still recording with Vincent tonight, or?"
Did you really needed a therapist over that situation? Come on.
No. But no. Listen to how he handled it. He's like, "Hey, yeah, we are actually. Does that bother you? Or is that
How does
all right?"
that make you feel? Yeah, exactly.
And I was like,
Smelly.
I'm like, no, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure because I can record if that fell through. But
you
if
said,
not,
you
I'd
said
love
it's totes fine though, didn't you?
it's
You said
totes.
it's Mando
it's-
totes
it's-
fine.
It has to be fine because it's totes Mando.
No, I'm giving you a hard
It
time.
also sounds kind of sounds like a Swedish superhero. I am totes Mando, here to save the day. And that's not Swedish
you're fine.
at all.
Vincent's
Why does
in my
he sound-
doghouse anyways because Vincent implied on Twitter that I don't understand what frame rate means, and now I want to punch him in the nuts. So
Yo, no. The last thing you want to do on Twitter is imply something about Yoshi Fat. You
can imply whatever you want, but implying that I'm dumb or I don't know something that I should know, that's my sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's my weakness. Like just act like I'm an idiot, and I'll get really mad.
Oh, it's so easy to troll.
I'm the easiest person to troll. You don't understand Yoshi? Oh, and then I'll just be like,
Except you get it.
Let me
turn
teach you the
anger.
difference between effect and affect, okay?
There is no
Totally
difference. That's a
would.
trick English teachers have played on you for years.
Yeah, it's true. It's the same thing.
They're the same. They're interchangeable, just like all the different forms of there are fine.
Yeah.
You know what? You just give up on that battle after a while. You're on the internet and you're like, I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Use whatever form of there you want. It doesn't matter. Language is not
That's
important.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That and much more. Wait, do we So, are we going to throw both songs in here? Because tomorrow night I'm actually recording a song with a full, 12-person chorus.
I feel like that requires I think they should purchase a new feed just for that song. I'm
Okay.
that excited about this song.
Can we get the tabernacle in on this or what?
I
I know you guys got poll and whatnot, so
Yeah.
Well,
Can we get the quorum to sing on this? I don't know.
I pulled
Yeah.
the 10 people from the. I was able to grab 10 people from the choir that didn't pass their like ecclesiastical endorsement.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. Are these the 10
So, like,
people who have lived or are currently living with a parent in a same-sex relationship?
yeah, so they got kicked out of the choir, and they still want to sing.
Is that actually true?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
no, not even at all. There's no gay
But I
people
mean,
in Utah.
theoretically, that could be true, right? Based on the new decisions. Maybe we don't want to talk about this too much, but couldn't that
Yeah, this
theoretically
month,
happen?
that and not that on this episode of the
We don't want to talk about that.
Everything but that on this episode.
All things are okay to talk about, including the Holocaust, except for that on the Boo. So, no, welcome to the show, everybody. This is Dog Stein, and I'm going to turn it over to Yoshi Fett to give us a word of the week.
Oh.
Are you doing like your NPR voice or something there?
I guess. All
Yeah.
things considered. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with conflagration for tonight, just because I kind of like how that word sounds.
Are we gonna
Conflagration.
Are we committing to that pronunciation of this word?
Why? Do you have a different one?
Yeah. Well, I have a different one that I've always used.
Say it.
Conflagration.
Conflagration.
Mm-hmm.
Are those different words?
Conflagration is the name. Keep the rhythm.
No, I don't think they're different words. It's spelled like it sounds, right? A con and then a flag and then a ration.
Conflagration?
That's how I've always said it.
Conflagration? Or Wait, how was I saying it?
You said conflagration.
Okay, and you're saying conflagration?
Conflagration.
No, I'm not done. I'm saying conflagration.
Conflagration.
Yeah, and you said like conflagration.
Can I get the language of origin, please?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
No, not really. I was just making a
Okay,
spelling
you guys
bee
just keep doing your thing. I'm gonna see if I was pronouncing
joke. Oh, now it's bothering. I can't believe Yoshi doesn't know how to pronounce this word.
wrong.
You know what, Doc? I
No,
wouldn't
that's
know how to pronounce this. You wouldn't think that he would. Right?
I would think. Yeah.
Well, I mean-
Didn't Taylor Jones get in trouble in high school for waving the conflagration flag?
I love inside jokes that like only two of the three of the hosts of the
Yeah, I
movie
didn't even
do
get
that.
that one. But interestingly, the use of this word, however you say it, conflagration,
Uh-huh.
Oh, neat.
conflagration,
Conflict.
conflagration. I don't even. All right. Well,
Smelly.
Whatever.
Yeah, we got conflagration. I can't wait to use it.
wait. No. Our word of the week is clock. I changed my mind.
Is that how we're going to pronounce cloak? I don't know.
Smelly, speak us some truth on the thug speak, please.
Oh, yeah. Thug Speak this week, it's not terribly exciting or funny or clever or anything, but it's definitely there. I should say it's most deaf there. There, I just used it in a sentence. Most
Wait,
deaf.
I missed it. Most
deaf.
isn't that just isn't that a proper noun?
Well, it's a guy. Most deaf is a guy who is a rapper, very good rapper, and also
Conflagration. Conflagration. Isn't that how I was saying it?
No, you said conflagration or something.
Conflagration is the right way.
Yeah, I know, because that's how I said it. But you,
Yeah, no, you're right.
You do hear the difference.
I guess, although I mean I hear the difference, but now it's like really hard for me to sort out how I was saying it and how I'm not.
I couldn't relate to how you said it either. We agree on that.
Conflagration is not. That's not how I was saying it.
You said it once, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's saying conflagration, but what I heard was conflagration or something like
Conflagration.
Conflagration.
This is riveting podcast.
Yeah, I know. This is the best podcast of all time.
Can we rewind live broadcast? I think we can.
All right. I'm not going to talk about that word anymore. Conflagration?
Here, let me liven it up by providing a card game speak of the week.
That's how low we've sunk.
Yeah. So what would you think in a card game the word or phrase power creep means? Yoshi, maybe you played Magic cards or something. You look like someone that would try that.
I
I don't
actually
know if
am.
that's a
I
compliment.
actually no. Hey, here's the thing. I'm the advisor for the Magic the Gathering Club
Yeah.
at my school.
Oh,
So, but
have you
it is.
heard the word power creep been thrown out there?
No,
He
honestly,
just
I mean,
mustard
I can think about what like a creep is in context of Magic cards. Generally, it has to do with like you're placing counters on something, and it's generating more and more creatures as you go along. Although I don't think that's what we're talking about here. Nor are
You
we
are
talking
correct.
about.
You are correct in that you are incorrect.
I
All right.
I think that it's the Magic the Gathering equivalent, or what is that game you play? Home Store. Home Store.
Home store, right. Hearthstone,
It's-
but 2 syllables
Yeah.
with an R. I think you nailed most of it.
It's the Homestar Runner version of like White Men Can't Jump. You're basically hustling someone. You come into it with you're like, dude, my deke is so small and weak. But then like at the end of it
My
all,
deke?
your deke is actually really, really powerful. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, everyone's trying to copy my deek. No, so power creep. I like both of those guesses. Power creep is when new cards are released in a game, in a card game. Cards that are clearly better than other cards for the same cost, for example. So a power creep is, let's say, 1 minion costs. I know this is where it gets even more exciting when I actually explain it.
It's gonna be so good.
Let's say you have a card that costs 3 mana, and it has 3 attack and 4 health, and that's the minion. Well, then an expansion comes out, and there's a card that costs 3 mana, but it has 4 attack for 4 health.
Ah.
So the game has power crept and made a previous card absolutely unplayable.
Oh, it's
So
like
the-
card inflation.
It is
Yes, it's card inflation. That's exactly what it is.
mana inflation, or
Or mana inflation. Bad
Yeah.
pronouncing is going to be the theme of this episode.
common theme. Yeah.
Conflagration. What an idiot. I'm such
What
an
a
idiot.
friggin' nerd.
All
All right, so we have conflagration, most def, and power creep. Bonus points for anyone who uses them all in one sentence.
So the game power creeps.
Yes, the game power creeps, or the single cards are examples of power creep.
Okay. So like our show, for example, it is
It's
currently
doing the
being
opposite.
it's being broadcast. It's being broadcast live on YouTube right now.
And nobody's watching
Yes.
it.
And
Right.
nobody. We have 2 viewers. We have exactly 2 viewers. And
Oh, we
I
have
think-
viewers now.
I think that's me and Yoshi to be.
I'm pretty sure it's you and you.
I'm not watching it. Do I count as a viewer?
If I
I don't
didn't
know.
have
Oh,
to be
we just lost
watching
one. Even talking about 2 viewers, it dropped us down to 1.
this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Well, this is good. We're gonna power creep all up in this.
Awesome.
Most def.
All right.
What if
Maybe
TLC
we should have
did a
Facebooked
bunch
this.
of lines of
No,
coke
that's bad
and then
idea.
they sang creep? Would that be power creep?
Absolutely.
TLC like
Or,
drops some.
or
30-year-old
Radiohead. What if
plans.
Radiohead, TLC, and Stone Temple Pilots all perform their respective versions of the song "Creep" at the same time? That would be a power creep, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it would be a cacophony. Can we use cacophony instead? Because I'm sure I'm pronouncing that right.
It's cacophony. Cacophony.
Wait, this reminds me of Aiken now. Now that we're thinking of words that are hard to pronounce.
That's right. So good.
the old Clay Aiken days. He's Aiken to Clay Aiken, and then he's
He is
gay,
Aiken.
and
Yeah, I
now his whole
remember that.
family's kicked out of the church. Oh wait,
Yeah,
sorry, wasn't supposed to go there.
Cacophony. That
That
sounds like
that's so
like
the
ragamuffin.
cac
It sounds like he's just a cacophony.
Cacophony.
Well, I mean that cac was the preferred way of pronouncing the word cock amongst my friend group in
That's
college.
true. That's true. It was.
You got your cac. I mean, nobody ever
All
asked
right.
me to do that at my friend group. That would
Okay.
be weird, but
I'm worried if we don't get to the gaming that our viewer is going to leave us.
We
Yeah,
don't
So,
have. We don't play games. This is the boom. What are you talking about?
well, let's ease into it. Let's warm her up a little bit. Moisten. Never mind.
No
Let's just.
balls deep. Okay.
We're just gonna jump straight in, and we're gonna start with easy to enter games. For example, Smelly, tell us about your latest adventures in mobile gaming.
easy to enter games. Well, I've spent some time in my life on my cell phone, and really we have Fallout Shelter to thank for me really truly diving into. Well, I guess I did a lot of. I'm pretty convinced that I'm not going to finish an entire sentence. I might start one, but Fallout Shelter is really the game that started for me. No, I guess before that I played a lot of. Okay, so Fallout Shelter is really good. Um, I played it and I loved it, and I at one point I think I even announced that it was the best mobile game I had ever played, and perhaps
Do you
even on this
repent?
show. Probably about 5 months and one episode ago, I announced that very thing on this show, and I don't know that I can repent. I haven't played a better game since, but I have since stopped playing that game. I assume
Right.
you have too.
Yes, I have stopped. I hit the population limit,
Yeah.
and they have actually incorporate some of the Fallout Shelter mechanics into Fallout 4, which more info to come.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But there's no crossover. There's no like, oh, because you have, because Dr.
Not,
Dre.
not that I'm aware of, and I don't. That doesn't feel like Bethesda. That feels like EA.
Uh,
Remember when the battlefield like armor was in Mass Effect 3, Yoshi,
Yeah,
and that was really
and that made me
dumb. And
mad.
we made fun of it. Yeah.
synergy. They're all about synergy and conflagrations.
Yes.
Well, okay, so yeah, Fallout Shelter is really good. I wrote a song about it. I'd like to hear it. Here it goes.
Well, here it goes.
Dave,
Oh wow,
where you put the song? Yeah.
you do a wicked Dylan. Was that you on the guitar?
Los Dos, hombre.
Wow. See, now
So
we've
great.
got just straight up original parody songs. That makes no sense.
Yeah, original a live action like analog ripoffs.
Analyze. It's a digital. Yes. Ones and zero ripoffs. Wait, that's
Yeah.
digital, right?
I didn't
No,
have
that's
to
analog.
break.
I don't know.
I didn't have to break any YouTube related copyright law for that one, and that
That's
that
great.
feels good inside.
Hey,
Um,
I created an entirely very quick to fail business based on breaking copyright laws.
Hey, I texted you or something the other day about that, didn't I? That you didn't respond to?
What did you text me?
Something about how I wanted you to help me market getwellsoonsicles.com.
Oh, you did. You
Yeah.
did because you do that a lot.
I do.
Our family tends to get broken, and Smelly then writes parody songs. Get well musicals. Get well-sicles, we call them. Right?
Getwellsoonsicles.
Get well soonsicles. My fault.
I
Sorry.
believe it's pronounced conflagration.
Yeah. So there's even another song that's not going to be published on this show, but that's the one that I wrote for my little niece. So anyway, Fallout Shelter's great. Farmville was really fun too. And then now I'm playing this new game.
News from 10 years ago. Farmville's kind of an interesting thing they have
that
on
was fun
Facebook.
for
I don't know if you
a
guys
while.
are on Facebook yet. What the?
So this game is called Skyforce. On the Androids, it's called Skyforce. On the products, it's called Skyforce 2014, I think, is the thing. And there's a handful of like knockoffs, but Yoshi, this might be a game that you could get behind. I think
It's good. It's fun.
really well
Why
polished.
would I?
Game.
Why would I want to get behind it?
It's got a couple things that might reward you for your positioning. I don't know.
That's the most confusing answer I've ever gotten about the question. No, like why would I like it? Why do you
Because
think? Based on
it's.
what you know of me.
I know that you grew up in the '80s playing Gradius and Life Force with me.
Yes.
Both of those things are true.
And those are
And
both things that I love. Life Force especially, I have like a super big soft spot for that game.
oh man, so take Life Force
Okay,
and
got it.
remove the side scrolling and just keep it up scrolling. So it's an upward
Okay.
scrolling shmup. And
Those are always fun.
yeah, and the graphics are just tremendous. We just really, really like the graphics. Um,
So here's the thing. This makes me think of one of those sorts of things that will only be important or valuable to a couple of us, but actually just me and you, Smelly, I think.
right.
But I remember very distinctly when I was in grad school, and I was at San Benito. That's where I teach. I was in UCSB,
UCSB.
and you would come see me at the little whatever that center is where they have Frosties and
The
stuff.
USEN,
Wendy's.
dog.
The
The USEN.
USEN. And they had Galaga in there. And you would come in, and I'd always be playing Galaga. There were a couple times you came to visit, and we'd play pinball. I'd play Galaga, and I just took me back. I love Galaga is one of my favorite like old school games. So if this has the same flow, then I'm down.
Yeah, it's definitely a similar flow with obviously upgraded graphics. But the thing that really hooked me is the leveling mechanic, and I know that you're a leveling guy too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
leveling is
will.
good.
If a game has leveling in it, it can be about anything pretty much, and I'll play it.
That's true. So this is just, it's really well done. And I actually just now, Alan,
Alan, die. That wasn't a command.
I don't think I'm going to take you up on that, but go ahead.
You will eventually. I
I
trust
bet
that.
you will win on this one. It's the long con.
You
It's
may
a
have won the
long
battle.
I like that.
You
Yeah.
may have won the battle by not dying right when I said it, but you'll lose the war. So
Yes.
it's I just maxed out every category on my ship. My everything. I don't want to list all the categories, but so basically, Yoshi, you kill a thing and it spits out stars, and then you collect those stars and you use the stars to purchase upgrades for your ship, and those upgrades sort of continue, and then you unlock new levels, and then you unlock harder versions of those new levels, and it's just this sort of endless feedback loop of upgrading and leveling and trying to reach little objectives.
Sounds
And,
sounds somewhat like Geometry Wars 3, the way they added in all the leveling in Geometry Wars 3.
Yes.
So.
Yes. It is. It is similar to that. Graphics in a different venue than Geometry Wars 3. Not better, not worse.
Just different. That's
Just
okay.
different. Yeah. But yeah, no, really great game, and it's free. And if you're like me, you play a free game. If you play it for longer than like 2 weeks straight, you feel like throwing the developer a bone. And these guys, if you pay them $2, you can get earned stars twice as fast per.
Double stars, baby.
And that's a really, really nice thing to have because you can upgrade your ship a lot faster, and it's good. So anyway, I highly recommend.
I would argue
Skyforce.
twice as fast.
I haven't worked out the numbers myself.
Yeah, I'm not no Einstein, but
Right. But that's a good game, and that probably will mark the end of my contribution to this episode. So, guys,
Well,
what about?
hey, Smelly, there's one more way you can contribute. Troy.starrett at a anti-social gamer. We know him.
Yeah,
He says he's responded to you and says he feels like he can't adequately derail this recording without the YouTube chat enabled. So maybe people are going away from it because they don't like the fact that you disabled
enable
the
that
YouTube.
YouTube chat. Yo.
How do I do that? Start it. Tell us how to do that.
Oh, Kev just tweeted about our recording too. So we're getting some more traction here.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Is there a chat? How do I enable chat? This is where it gets boring. Maybe Dave
All right,
edits this out.
or we talk.
You guys
dogs.
talk and I try.
Let's talk
Yes.
about Fallout 4 since we both played it, and that's the big topic on the gamers' minds these days.
Yeah, the first thing that I want to say about Fallout 4 is I screwed myself over by being extremely lazy. So I got it for PC, Yoshi. Did you get it for your console that you own?
Yeah, Xbone.
Okay. So I'm actually going to Dallas next week to have a meeting with GameStop, and so I had a really fun opportunity to convince my boss I need to go and research GameStop, and so can I spend $60 at GameStop? And he said yes, and I went, sucker. So 2 days before Fallout 4 comes out, I go and I pre-order Fallout 4. So it's releasing at 10 p.m. the night before it actually comes out, right?
Right.
But if you show up anytime before the store closes at 9, this is really overly complicated, but you can go and you can basically ring out it through the register there. So then when you show up at 10, all you have to do is give them your ticket, and they'll just pass it to you. You don't have to wait in line.
This is
Basically.
very convoluted, yes, but I get what's going on.
It's dumb. Anyway, so I show up at about 8:30 to get my ticket, and I realize, wait, I'm playing on PC. I wonder if, since it's going to be on Steam, if they'll just give me my copy now. So I asked him, and he said, well, we can change to the digital copy and just give you the code now, but you'll have to come back at 10 to get your physical copy. And I thought, all right, well, I'm probably not going to be able to play tonight anyway. So I got the digital copy. I go home, and it took me 32 hours to download the 24 gigabytes because my internet is awful. So I didn't get to play at all until tonight, which is the 11th, Wednesday, and I've now had the discs for 48 hours. So, or not the disc, the code for 48 hours. Anyway, we still know nothing about the game, so there's my experience so far. I've played for about an hour and a half at this point. I understand you have about double the time as I do.
Yeah, I guess this is another reason why it's not time to completely give up on physical media too. I mean, I bought the game a hard copy instead of downloading it from Xbox Live because I didn't want to deal with a super long download time. I was just like, no way. And I had, internet is spotty a lot of times. I don't know if it's going to go down or what's going to happen, so I bought the game and installed it, and the install time was pretty quick, actually. My first impression is that it feels like a reboot of Fallout 3, which would normally be something that would make me angry, because, I'm all about original ideas, unless it's an old idea that I don't mind reliving several times over and over again. But, I mean, as soon as I stepped out of the vault after the first part of it, and by the way, the first part does give you this sense, though, that there's a lot of polish that's gone into the game, though, man, I'm already hearing tons of little nitpicky complaints, and they're the same complaints that have been going on about Bethesda games forever, that there are glitches or that there's a frame rate issue. Yes, Vincent Knit, I know what a frame rate issue is. Anyway, so you get some slowdown when there are lots of NPCs moving around, but it looks very nice to me. I mean, the beginning, the character creator, it's so fascinating the way the character creator works because it's actually two separate characters, whether you're a guy or a girl, and the default girl is super hot, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. But nice. It's really, I mean, I wandered the wasteland for like 2 hours or something. I got killed in several different ways. I like how now with VATS, it doesn't completely stop time. So things start they keep moving a little bit while you have VATS on. So you're aiming at stuff, but it's still coming at you or shooting at you or whatever. So it just gives you a little bit of an extra boost. Yeah. Also, and this is very superficial, but something that I always noticed when I would go from a Skyrim or Oblivion to Fallout 3 or to New Vegas, is that you can sprint now in Fallout 4, which is a nice little addition because I always hated that you couldn't sprint in Fallout 3. You just kind of walk around. Right. And so that's nice. It looks great. I can't wait to explore it. It feels right. It feels like a Fallout game. I love everything about it so far. And I haven't run into all these glitches or problems that people are talking about. Maybe I will, and maybe next time we record in 3 months, I will have a lot of complaints. But right now, I got nothing but love for that game. It seems amazing, and it's made me want to kick Destiny directly to the curb and never look at it again. So,
wow.
Yeah, I've on the PC version at least, I've noticed a couple of things that aren't game breaking or even like they don't even pull me out of the immersion. But for example, if I get into a conversation with someone by pressing E on my keyboard or whatever, and and then it has like a mini, not cinematic, but how it kind of zooms in and you're actually the decision tree or whatever it is. So if I'm not facing them directly, and I'm kind of now for those watching, meaning Smelly and Yoshi, Um, if I start the conversation with the person over here and I'm like this, then my character will talk to them like this in the little cutscene. So just
I
kind of
haven't.
turn his head and
Yeah, I've been,
yeah.
approaching all my people like I would normally in life. So I guess that's why it hasn't
Yeah,
happened to me yet.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but apparently
Interesting
I've
strategy.
yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't played it long enough to say that these things aren't there. But so the first thing I noticed, and I'm sure you noticed this too, or maybe not, but that it across the board, as soon as the review embargo broke, everyone was like, "Great game, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10, whatever." Just top rated game of the year, right? Already seems like a game of the year contender.
Right.
Then I hear all the chatter on the internet, and it's just, and I mean, maybe this is just the nature of the internet, but I'm just really getting bogged down by all this negative stuff, like people complaining that like when you pick up dog meat as a way, and you should be able to like walk over him, and like, what's up with that? Bethesda, it's 2015, you still can't walk through dog. I'm like, wait, wouldn't that be game breaking if you could walk through your dog? That's weird. Like,
Yeah,
isn't it more immersive that sometimes the dog gets in your way? That's like real life. It's like, I don't know. That seems like a weird complaint to me. But then there are also the common complaints about Bethesda games. There are lots of bugs and that there's frame rate slowdown and stuff like that. I haven't seen any of that yet, but like I said, I'll let you know.
See, now here's one thing that I accidentally stumbled upon when I was playing with my Pip-Boy for the first time. The radio stations.
Yeah.
I threw on the oldies one, the Diamond City
Diamond
radio, and it's basically just like oldies music, and most of it is themed around Fallout or nuclear or end of the world type of music. And then the commentator's hilarious in between songs. They'll be like, "That was Betty, dang it, I'm such an idiot."
Yeah, he's like Chris Farley's character, totally. That's what I was thinking too. He has no confidence, and he seems kind of out of it. And I don't know, he almost sounds familiar, like that's an actor that I know that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's the voice actor.
Right.
The mention here is that a lot of the songs that I've heard so far have been songs that are actually literally from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. They have recycled some of the songs. I know
really?
that. Yeah.
So I never played Vegas, but I played Fallout 3, and I never really listened to the radio.
Okay, because I loved, that was one of my favorite aspects of Fallout 3 was I would listen to the radio constantly, and I loved that station, Galaxy News Radio with Three Dog and all that. Yeah. But I noticed that this station is playing some of the same songs, but I've noticed a couple new ones too, and I have no problem with that. If they want to add all of the Fallout lore, all those songs in there, and just have those plus the new ones, fine. That's cool with me. Because when those songs come on, they give me warm feelings about playing the previous games, and when I get new songs, that will be connected with the new game. So
I would challenge anyone playing Fallout 4 to always have the radio on. I'm not sure if you unlock more stations, but right now it's just classical music.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, you will.
And I love the juxtaposition between either one of those choices and when you're fighting. So you're fighting, and there's Mozart playing, and it's just very fun. One other thing that it's very exciting to just get into like a single player immersive story for the first time in a few years, really, for me. And these little Turtle Beach headphones, I bought these right before Fallout 3 came out. And I remember for the very first time playing a game with these headphones on, and it was Fallout 3.
That's great.
Someone in the game opened a door on the left-hand side of me, which is right where my front door is, and it was in the middle of the night when I was playing, and I flipped out because I thought my front door opened. So when I remembered, when I put these on today when I was playing Fallout 4, I went, oh my gosh, it's come full circle. It felt like these puppies are back, and I'm so happy.
That's exciting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So Cameron's pirate.
Hooker.
Smelly hooker. Dang it. Cameron, dang it, I did it again. Smelly pirate hooker. Here's the interesting thing. So in Fallout 4, you have kind of a home base, and it's called the Sanctuary, and you can kind of build. Spoilers alert! If you don't want to know this, it's not story spoiling or anything, but
1 hour.
you can build your own your own little base. And Yoshi, I haven't done much with it, but I've kind of looked at it and guess what the different resources you need for the base are, Smelly?
Electricity.
Electricity, water,
Shoot.
food.
Food. Sex.
Yeah.
Intercourse.
So
Intercourse.
it's basically you can recruit people to come to your little base, but then you need to have more food and water to feed them. So even the interface looks very close to Fallout Shelter. So it's almost as though the same two companies made those games. That's what it feels like.
I feel inclined to buy a $300 video game system and this $60 game so that I can play another iteration of the free-to-play mobile game that I love so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
Or
and
you
there
could-
is that other system seller on there. It draws a red box that I told you about a long time ago. That
Yeah, that's right.
that I occasionally mess around with that just because the song maker function is so much fun. It's very Mario Paint-esque. So
I'll definitely
not do
most
anything about that.
I'll most def not buy a console anytime soon.
It's Mando. Mando.
It's Mando dough.
We're gonna give you 40 conflagrations right on your back if you don't buy a console.
It's conflagration. Gosh,
My fault.
No wonder you guys are so lost.
Smelly, you also could, and I know you won't, log into my Steam and just download it and play it on my account.
Ah, that's right. Well, I love that idea.
It's not gonna happen.
No, I actually do. I do need to issue thanks to F. You guys keep talking about this. I got to figure out who gave me Fallout New Vegas on Steam because someone did, and it's good.
Yoshi, in these types of games, do you have the ability to choose even one rude or ill-tempered choice in the dialogue tree? Because I can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like,
do you like
even
say
to my
that all
stupid-
for real life?
I'm just a jerk to people I know and love. But in a
Yeah,
video game... No, it's
I-
weird.
I-
I'm not saying I'm a
yeah,
good
I-
person or anything, but like Wadsworth, the stupid robot, I couldn't even say, like, you're wasting my time. I had to be like, yes, let's search the city together.
I was just like I didn't even I talked to him for a second and he was like gonna go do something and I was like late, I need to go check out the rest of this area. Like I'm at the point with Fallout 4 where I always am with these sandbox games where I'm just gonna walk around a lot and like the boundaries will be places where I'll die and can't get past because the monsters are too high of level. But to answer your question, yeah, I can say mean things in a video game.
Okay.
I mean, in Mass Effect 2, I believe it is. I think I punched a female reporter. I think it's 2 is when
that's right.
as Shepard,
Yeah.
you slap the
Yep.
reporter, you punch, you just knock her out for asking dumb questions. Unless that's
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3 and I'm getting them confused
It's
right now.
2.
But
It's
is
2.
it 2? Okay.
Yep.
It's I don't have any. My morality is shaky to begin with, and then it certainly doesn't extend to the false world of video games.
Fair
So
enough.
yeah, I can be mean. Yeah, I'll be mean to
Good.
people in Fallout. Sure.
So
I mean,
I'd like
I
to-
actually, speaking of that, I'll just tell you this: there was a settler who wasn't doing anything, just being a settler, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And hi, and then I just shot him in the head, and then I kept going.
Ooh, that got dark quick, Yosh.
Wow.
Dude, that's how you play these games. I mean, do you remember my biggest complaint about about Fallout 3?
That you couldn't shoot people in the head arbitrarily?
No, you can do that in Fallout 3.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't the complaint.
It was
No
that you
raping?
couldn't kill the children.
Oh,
Right.
You weren't allowed.
I do
Remember, this was
remember
a big controversy at the beginning of Brown. It was that I wanted to kill the children in Fallout 3, and they wouldn't let you.
yeah, you
Yeah.
were
And
baby
they won't
killer.
let you
Well,
do it, and I
in
felt like that
Fallout
broke immersion.
4, you can kill the children, but only if their parents are gay.
Dude, how much did the Mormon Church spend on to buy
So
Bethesda? I just wanna
Yoshi,
know.
Smelly, what
Was it more or less than Activision spent to buy Candy Crush?
Oh my gosh, I know.
man.
Smelly, I have you to thank someone. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Did
can
you
thank a
find
guy. I did. The guy who I have to thank his Twitter handle, and you guys go ahead and follow him because
I'll do it right now, man. Shoot.
100% of the time that I followed him, he gave me Fallout New Vegas on Steam. His name is Mad Current.
Oh, I already follow him.
Yeah.
Nice.
His that's his Twitter handle, but then his name is Bruh, That's a Dish. I'm not really sure what that means.
Dish. I know that because he retweets me sometimes when I talk about sports stuff. So
he's a very active Boomba. What does Bruh, That's a Dish mean? I feel like I should know what that means. Is that a quote?
I don't know what it's from, but it sounds like there's a penis involved.
You always think there's a penis involved.
Like don't do that. That's a dish. Don't put it there.
Oh yeah.
That's not what you think it is. That's
bruh,
a dish, bruh.
Bruh, that's not a couch. It's a dish. Yeah. Stop pumping that thing.
I now follow this person.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just look out because you might have some Steam games coming your way.
So, when did he do this? Was this recently he gave you New Vegas?
Yeah, probably about 3 weeks ago.
So, do you want to admit to him now that you'll never play it or install it even?
I've installed. I downloaded it. You colossal jerk! It was September 2nd, and it was September 3rd also. And he sent it to me, and I downloaded it, and I installed it, and I played it for an hour. Here's what happened, and I talked about this on I think the show that we currently are hosting. I played it for like an hour, and I got to a point where she goes, "Hey, you need to go find us these 2 kinds of plants up at this place that used to be a library or a church or something." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So I roll up to that church, and I'm like looking around, just trolling around, falling out and doing everything that you do in Fallout. And then I found one of the 2 things, and then I'm like searching inside this church library discotheque, and there's nothing. It's not in there. And then I searched all around the outside, and it's certainly not out there. And now I've been searching for so long that I can't find this chick who told me to get it. So now, as far as I can tell, there's nothing left to do in the game. I think I beat the game.
It's a really short game.
You failed. It's like a choose your own adventure book. You turned to the wrong page, right off the bat.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say. I found one of the 2 things, and I thought, hey, maybe the second one's in my real life guitar. So I'm really looking at that.
Maybe it's in this box of Mike and Ike's.
Right.
And then I just never stopped searching. That's probably what happened.
So there's another game coming out, very AAA, very much, ooh, wow, what AAA, very release date. That's Battlefront, the new Star Wars.
Dog dying hot cars over there, huh? Am I right?
Am I right? Yeah. Corgi died.
And this is where I wish they would have treated this game the same way they're treating Fallout. Like, okay, let's honor what people liked about the game previously, because I played the beta, and they're honoring what people liked about Battlefield 4, and they're putting Star Wars on it, and it's like, that's not the game I was really looking for, but
yeah,
it's gonna sell so well.
Funny joke.
And everybody's gonna love it, and everybody's gonna hate me and do the thing. They're gonna claim, of course, that I'm a hipster because I want it to be like Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I wanted to at least have some sort of semblance of resemblance to that game, and it's nothing like that game.
So is the single player even a thing? Like, I
don't know. I heard there's no Galactic Conquest mode anymore. I don't know what they have in
that mode. Was for anyone that doesn't know what that mode was.
Right, that's the mode.
Yoshi, I know. Reason. Yoshi, why don't you explain it for him? Because it's embarrassing that someone didn't know what that is.
Okay, so Galactic Conquest mode, you could start as one of the 2 sides depending on what era you're playing in. So if you're playing in the Clone Wars era, you've got the CIS, the robots, versus the Republic.
What does CIS stand for?
It's the Confederated
Crime Investigation Scene.
Conflagration.
I can't remember what CIS stands for, but it's like the Trade Federation people and all the battle droids and all them. And
all the Asian guys, right?
They're not Asian. They're Nemoidians. But it's really sad that I don't know what CIS stands for now that you say that. But I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said the Droid Army, because now I feel. You know what? I'm really blowing it tonight, and my ego strength is dropping rapidly. It's like a meter. It's going downhill. All right. So, anyways,
open a 5-hour power creep and chug that thing.
All right. So, anyways, the point of Galactic Conquest is that you start out. You have a home base planet. They have a home base planet, and then you go around and you fight these battles on the planets. Or if your ships collide midair, you have a space battle, and whoever can take over the galaxy first wins. And it's just fantastic. You can play it against a computer, and it's fun. You can play it against a friend. It's fun. It's a almost perfectly balanced way to experience this sort of game, and I don't understand why they wouldn't redo that and just go ahead and have that as a mode that you can use. But to me, my problem was playing it is that it didn't feel like a Battlefront game at all. It felt, like I said, it felt like Battlefield. And,
Right.
like, that's fine, but I'm not a fan of Battlefield, so, that kind of cuts me out pretty fast.
You can't even be
despite how much I love Star Wars.
Skin, huh? Yeah.
I love Star Wars, but, I mean, I need to say that, but...
Let me ask this. I read online about a pretty significant spoiler with regards to the episode 7 that
Don't do
you've
it.
been getting from Star Wars Battle Sport. What's it called? Battlefront.
Bloodsport. Yeah, Bloodsport 2.
Gears
Star
of
Wars
front.
Bloodsport.
Gears.
Yeah, front towards Yoda. So, yeah, I read a spoiler. It's not really that. It's not a spoiler that Alan Dye will worry about, because he's been thinking about this since 1983. But so somebody in a position of authority in the Disney world said something about how all officially licensed products from here on out are canon. Is that correct, Yoshi Fat?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So that includes Star Wars Battlefront.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay. So somebody said that Boba Fett is a playable character, and that it even shows him like flying around on some. What's the planet on here? Lumlar. Well, there's one of these planets that's like the featured planet on the show, the new show. What's it called? Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Lothal?
Huh?
Are you talking about Lothal from
No.
Star Wars Rebels?
No. In the new movie, where does most of the action take place on the new movie? If it's not on
Jakku?
Tatooine, yeah,
Jakku?
that's the one. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is that the one where like
That's the place that looks like Tatooine.
Star Destroyer's down and
Yeah,
yada,
Jakku.
yada, yada.
I think it's. I mean, I could be pronouncing that wrong at this point.
Yeah, so somebody
I really
said
don't
that some news reporter or something, Fox News said that Boba Fett is a playable character on a Jakku level. What?
That doesn't matter though, because that could just be like Fantasyland, like, oh, here you can play as Boba Fett. Because say, for example, in Battlefront 2, you could play as various heroes that were not around. Like you could play as Darth Maul in like an Episode 3 time period, and we all know he was.
What?
So I don't think that necessarily means anything. If they bring Boba Fett back, that will be slightly disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. His death was lame, but like the last thing I want is for Abrams to try to retcon things from the original trilogy. No, we don't need that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But
he's like the Kurt Cobain of the Star Wars universe. He's way cooler because he died so young.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess so, huh? And he wrote really good music too. He actually wrote the Yub Nub song that got replaced.
I think I read
that in his own time. Yeah. It was his gift to the Ewoks, but that Lucas stole it from him.
He deserved to die.
No, Yub Nub is great. Who deserves to die is George Lucas for replacing it with that stupid flute song that is at the end of Return of the Jedi now.
Oh, right.
We're doing a Star Wars. We're doing a Star Wars topic
always
right
doing
now.
a Star Wars podcast.
That's good. But first, before I introduce
Let's do
one
a Star
of
Wars
the
bracket.
coolest theories that I've ever read in my life.
Best lightsabers in Star Wars.
I'm going to do a little social experiment, which will probably end very poorly. I'm about to send this text message to my wife, which says, "I'm super hungry. Can you make me a sandwich?"
Nice.
Oh, you Mormons.
And I'm going to see what happens.
Which wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so have you read about the Jar Jar theory?
Yeah.
I did not read it.
Was that not one of the most fun theories you've ever read through, Smelly?
It was pretty awesome. It was
so,
pretty
Yoshi, I'm really excited that you haven't read this. So the theory, a Redditor, and it ended up getting, if you're on Reddit, you know this is a large amount of votes. It ended up having like 12,000 net upvotes.
Wow.
Which is huge.
And so, it involves Jar Jar, so it's pretty shocking that they could get upvotes with that.
So here, and maybe I'll try to pull it up if we want to chat about it. But the basic theory is that Jar Jar was actually, Lucas had it planned for Jar Jar to be the Phantom Menace above Palpatine, to actually be the Lord above Palpatine. But because of how violent the reaction from the fans was in Episode 1, he bailed on it. He bailed on the idea. And they had to completely rewrite a new villain because they could not reveal a Jar Jar as being the ultimate bad Sith. And that's where Dooku, with absolutely no background at all, is just kind of thrust into Episode 2. And all the evidence that he walks through, it'll take you about 20 minutes. If you go to Reddit, go to the Star Wars subreddit, and it's the top post of the year, I'm sure. I think it even got more upvotes than like the release trailer for the trailer for Force Awakens. But really, really funny stuff, and it even quotes.
Intrigued. It's a great read. It's very fun.
It's really fun. They even quote an Ask Me Anything thread from what is his name, Ahmed Best or something, the actor.
Yeah, Ahmed Best, the guy who played Jar Jar.
Someone asked him some question, as they oft do in an AMA.
And asked me anything suspicious.
It took a weird turn, this AMA. Someone asked him a question.
And the response was, after Episode 1, because of the reaction, something along these lines, because of the reaction, the story arc for Jar Jar dramatically changed, or changed significantly.
Right.
So he had a much reduced role in Episodes 2 and 3, where he was going to have much higher. And so even the actor is saying...
Well, I thought that was true, regardless of whether or not there's some sort of like weird Sith conspiracy going on here.
Right. Sure.
Like, I mean, the thing that they did, of course, I guess this is fan service if anyone was paying attention closely enough, is that it's his fault that the Army of the Republic is formed, right? Like, he's the one who casts the vote, or he doesn't cast the vote. He's the one who brings the item up to the floor, and because Padme's off and she can't be the representative at that moment, so he gets kind of vilified in that way. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to read the theory, but like they're saying in response to, when they say that it's in response to like the Episode 1 reaction, that makes it hard for me to figure, because I'm thinking about all the stuff with Episode 1 involving Palpatine, and I'm thinking about how he was in that episode, and it seemed very obvious what they were doing there.
Well, I know, but isn't that the genius behind it? Is that you don't see it coming?
Well, yeah, it's the genius behind every conspiracy theory. That like you can't prove that it's not true, and so it lingers as this nice idea. It's why people still fixate on the notion that we didn't land on the moon, or that Tupac's still alive, or whatever. It's like
Tupac can melt
the
steel.
genius of a conspiracy theory is that any part of the conspiracy theory that you point out as being wrong is then now added into part of the conspiracy. See, you think that because that's part of the conspiracy. Like, see, doesn't that prove my point even further? So, I don't know. It's a funny idea.
You should go read it, because it's very.
If
fun.
it was true, he should have just gone through with it, because it's not like the responses to Episode 2 and 3 were much better than to 1. Yeah. So.
Well, no, we should say this. It's definitely not true, the theory, but it's so well researched and thought out.
Yeah, it's very well researched.
He supports it very well with quotes and gifs from the movie, and it's very fun.
Yeah, like he's a Force user, and here's instances where he looks like he's clumsy, but on the battlefield. But hey, man, he's killing everything he touches.
Yeah, that's right. And he goes into like super in-depth actual martial arts moves that like a lot of.
And Smelly, you've mentioned this before too. This notion that everyone has some sort of connection to the Force, like that there's nobody who's completely cut off from the Force in the Star Wars universe. That there's differing levels. That's kind of at least your theory on the Force.
It's the Kinsey theory of midichlorian distribution.
That's right. That's right. It's not binary. It's not either Force user or not Force user. It's like
a spectrum.
You can be you sometimes can use a Force.
Bi-forcical.
But that affects things like someone like Jar Jar. He gets good luck during those battles because of the Force or whatever. Or that when characters say, I have a bad feeling about this, that's actually the Force kind of guiding them. So that notion's been out there. I don't know. I mean, it's fun that people are taking time to talk about the prequels, I guess. All would probably make that much time to work on something like that.
So, one... I like part of the theory that he talks about is, Yoda, when introduced, was this goofy little thing that no one took seriously, right? And so it's the same thing with Jar Jar, but he's the equal and opposite to Yoda. He's the Grand Master Force user on the dark side.
Yeah,
with just as equally as awesome, disguise.
When you said this theory, the first thing I thought of was Yoda and how Lucas explained that the reason why Yoda talks the way that he does is because, wouldn't it be the last thing you expect of this great Jedi Master has bad syntax or whatever, So it's like, I thought, okay, I see. They're going to make a parallel there. As far as him using the Force, I'm interested. I'll just have to read the article naturally. It's one of those things too that fits in with this whole notion that it would make the Jedi seem less dumb in a way, like because they're so dumb about Palpatine in that movie.
Yeah.
In those movies, I should say, that it just insults the intelligence of the audience and also makes you hate the Jedi. Like when old Ben talks about the Jedi in Episode 4, you're like, yeah, that sounded like an awesome time to live, and it was really just dummies like Mace Windu walking around going like, oh, this Anakin boy's unstable. I'm going to treat him like crap and see what happens. It's just like the Jedi are terrible.
Until this party's over. Yeah.
This party's over, and it's not over. And he chops off Jango's head and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like, that theory would make me like the Jedi better because at least then it's like, ooh, hey, who would have expected Jar Jar? But like everyone would have expected Palpatine. Like, what's your guys' problem? It makes Anakin seem less stupid too. I don't know.
Dave, for those listening or watching, Dave will put the link to the Reddit post in the show notes.
That was classic.
Show notes.
That was so good.
No,
Show note.
Yeah.
You won't do that, guys. Seriously, don't go looking for him.
So,
don't go to our website.
Don't do that. Is there anything else to say about Star Wars? And then I'd like to get to the game ratings discussion before we end the show. But unless there's something else, we've got Pokemon game ratings. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and we don't even need to talk about it, but I bought a Darth Vader comic book.
Huh.
That's cool.
Which is, in fact, I have it here. You don't need to. It's right here. This is books number 1 through 6 all in one, and then it's a 12-part series, and it's released through episode 11 or something, or chapter 11 or whatever you call it, issue. And it tells the story of Vader between episodes 4 and 5. So Death Star has gone blown up, and Palpatine is ticked at this guy, and he's like, "Dude, you're on the out, Vader." And so he gets demoted. He's trying to figure out who did this and where they're hiding. So he goes to Jabba. Oh, it's really cool. It's actually really cool. Anywho,
so Vader's like OJ in this?
Vader sees the OJ of the old universe.
Yep, that's it. It makes you mad.
It does.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll tell you why it does. There's this. It makes you mad because like Vader gets demoted, and there's some normal, not cool as Tarkin, but there's some dude above him, and he's all demeaning Vader, and you're like, don't you freaking treat Vader like that, because he can't do anything because the Emperor's looking down. It's it's frustrating. Smelly, your point was probably more interesting.
No! Anytime we can talk about Tarkin, I'm in. I'd like to do a Tarkin bracket, if we could.
The best Tarkin line? I love that.
Yeah.
Does he have 16 lines
a
total?
moment of triumph? That's my favorite.
I fear you underestimate the...
Our chances. You have to say chances.
Our chances, yeah.
No, I like fire when ready.
Fire when ready.
Fire when ready. You may fire when
You're
ready.
far too trusting. We need to stop. We can all quote Star Wars. We're all impressed with
Oh,
it.
so good. So good. I'm going to watch it again right now. No, your thing was reminding me, or actually it was my joke. My joke reminded me of Rick and Morty joke when
I need to watch that show.
Dang, you need to watch that show. But at one point, Rick is off on an adventure trying to find the Rick from another dimension that is killing all of the... who are they killing? Are they killing all the other Ricks, or is he killing all of the somebodies?
I thought he was killing the TARDIS or something. What show are we talking about?
There's a Rick running around killing everybody, and so Rick goes to find him, and at one point he calls the Council of Ricks on the phone and goes, "Hey, what's the difference between me, or what do O.J. Simpson and I not have in common? I found the real killer, bitch!" And then he hangs up the phone. Oh, dude.
Dave, don't bleep that, please.
Please,
I want that in there.
Great. There's no chance that Dave is listening right now.
No. Very little.
I know I recorded with Dave last night, so he may like me right now.
Ooh, that's 3 a week for you, Yosh. That's a good week.
I know. I've recorded 3 nights out of the last 5.
I haven't recorded 3 times this year.
Yeah.
You're making the awesome face that that Paul Rudd makes in Wet Hot American Summer whenever sings it. That's my favorite face of all time, pretty much.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah.
All right, game ratings. We got time for that.
I guess
Talk
we have
to me.
time to talk a little bit about game ratings. My Pokemon thing is that my daughter's obsessed with Pokemon now, and she's playing Pokemon Soul Silver, which is a game I bought and played through. And I remember talking about it on the show, and you guys were like, "Why is it good? Why do you like it?" And you were like very accusatory about like, "There's no way you could like this game. It's dumb. It's Pokemon." But
Yeah.
it's really
Should we do
fascinating.
that again? Is that why you brought it up? Because you want us to do it?
You guys hate everyone hates me right now. I'm getting thrashed by everyone right now. Tonight's the thrashing of the Fett. But the thing is I'm proud of her because she started watching the old Pokemon episodes, and then
Nice.
she knew I had a Pokemon game, and I was like, I don't know, this is kind of complex, and it's an RPG and all that stuff. And she's like, I want you to teach me how to play it. And I'm like, all right. And so I taught her how to play it, fully thinking she'd get bored of it and go back to Mario Brothers immediately, because that's much more, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Nope, she's just like her dad. She's got 13 hours in that game now on her DS, and it's hilarious. She's like,
love it.
"Oh, she's like, oh, my Bay Leaf is up to level 20 now. I think I can take on this gym leader." I'm like, I think you can. I'm like, I love you. Keep doing this. So I bought her the strategy guide today for it. Somehow, Barnes & Noble still has a strategy guide for Pokemon Soul Silver, which is a game that's like 8 years old or whatever. And she was looking through it, reading the maps, and she was all into it. And I was just going, this is so cool. This is exactly what I was doing when I was a little kid too, and it just makes me happy. Anyways, that's aside. Dad's proud story.
Love it.
Main story though
That's
is
incredible.
game ratings are crazy. They don't make any sense, and I'm figuring this out more now that I have a child who likes to watch me play games. So I let her watch me play Dark Souls, which my wife had no problem with, shockingly. And a lot of people listening who know Dark Souls will think that that is the craziest thing that a parent's ever done to a 3, then 4-year-old kid. But she thought it was totally hilarious and fascinating, and it's a very magical world. So there's nothing real about it. It doesn't look real in any way, and she was never scared by it, even though some of the monsters scared me. So I didn't really understand that.
Well,
let
me jump in real quick because I know a little bit about the development of the human mind.
Oh yeah,
and at
you do.
3 and
my
4
wife.
years old, yeah, at 3 and 4 years old, a child can't see colors, and they can't see motion. So she was really just looking at a blank TV screen. So that's why it really wasn't that alarming.
Are you confusing her with Are you confusing children with dogs right now?
or T-Rexes? I think it's one of those three that have those symptoms.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So anyway, so my point here though is that obviously I've gotten Fallout 4, which is also rated M for mature. I've been playing the Master Chief Collection, which is rated M for mature. I played Bionic Commando, the remastered version, which is rated M for mature.
Bionic Commando is?
Uh-huh.
Where you shoot tin cans out of your gun?
Yeah, it's M for mature.
That's
and
impressive.
so here's the thing is so I'm playing a little Fallout 4, and there's a scene that's sort of kind of a violent scene, you know, someone who gets their head shot and they die, you know. And Sarah's kind of like, no, I don't really want PJ to watch this game. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, I didn't argue about it or anything, but I'm thinking about, you know, she watches me play these various games that are all rated M for mature, but they don't make any sense. Like, there's no way Sarah would ever care about her watching me play Halo, for example. Like, it's bright colors, it's silly, goofy aliens getting shot. She knows like how we feel about guns in real life, so she doesn't have any like problem with that. She gets that it's fake. It's like, how do rating systems work, man? They're like magnets. They're just inexplicable.
They are a lot like magnets. That's very true.
And now, is Destiny rated M for mature too?
Oh yeah.
No question. No question.
And she's watched me play Destiny for hours upon hours, and then Fallout 4 comes out and it's like, oh, this looks a little too real, I guess. It's too much like the real world. But they're all rated M. So, and you know, I remember, ironically, or fittingly, totally stopping a dad from buying Fallout 3 for his what looked like to be a 9 or 10-year-old son. I didn't straight out say don't buy this game, but I was standing behind them at a GameStop, and the cashier was like, "This is rated M for mature. Like, maybe the kids shouldn't buy it or whatever." And the dad's like, "I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What, you know?" He did the dad thing. Like, what? I don't. What are you trying to tell me? And so I was like,
Obama's trying to take my guns.
And and so I just stepped in and I said, well, M for mature means that it's like an R-rated movie, essentially. It's rated, you know, they're supposed to be 17 to play it by themselves or whatever. And he was like, oh. And he's like, what kind of stuff is it? I'm like, well, it's violence, you know, dismemberment, stuff like that. And he's like, oh, you can't have this game. And now I feel bad about that, because I don't know if I care if my daughter watches these games. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's because she's a girl and she doesn't seem prone towards violence or anything, or I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm actually feel less concerned about sheltering children from stuff now that I have a child, because I feel like children are a lot stronger than we give them credit for. When we don't have children, we don't see that they're strong in the face of these sorts of things.
But
I don't know.
Strength.
That's a good observation.
It may not be true, but that's just how I feel about
Right.
it. I presume strength in children now, where I used to presume weakness.
Yeah.
I like your faith in humanity.
That's the first time anyone's ever said that to me.
It's not humanity. It's children. There's a difference. He does not have
true.
faith in
Oh,
humanity.
yeah. Humans are horrible. Children are also horrible. But my child is fine. So I guess my fundamental question is, how do ratings fluctuate so vastly? Because to me, there's nothing even remotely, you know, salacious about, say, shouldn't that be rated T at worst, or like Halo? Like, I don't get it.
Well, I have a couple comments. I think that rated M on a video game is the equivalent of a PG-13 for a movie, in the sense that if you're releasing a movie that you want teenagers to want to go see, it better be PG-13.
Right.
If it's got a PG rating, it's going to be seen as just kind of stupid or childish.
For kids, yeah, exactly.
Right, to teenagers and probably to most adults that are in existence currently.
Unless it's made by Pixar, then I'll go see it. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly, right. You're either marketing it as a children's movie or it's PG-13. They're very, I don't know. Anyway, so that's one thing. It's kind of like the inflation of the ratings. But The other thing is, I know that with movie ratings, they're pretty arbitrary.
Yeah.
There's this assumption that you can have one F word per movie, and that's not even a true assumption. There are several examples of that not being the case, and I actually read something about how it's much more important how the F word is being used. If it's being used in a
to refer to the actual act, then it has more weight.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like if you said, "Did you F her?" That's like a bigger deal than if someone's just like, "F this," you know?
Right,
like,
exactly. But even those rules are kind of like unwritten, or like not even the studios necessarily get to know exactly how they're being judged.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the process is different because with a movie, you produce it and send the cut off to the MPAA, and they send you back their preliminary rating, and then you either have to cut stuff out or not. And I doubt that happens in a video game. I think they probably just send it in and get the rating and go.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with Fallout 4 is, like, I think that game should be rated mature. It's like, it's very vivid the way that people are blown to bits, and it is very realistic, and the way your characters die is very brutal. And then there's, like all Fallout games, it involves, like, drug use, not real drugs, but, like stimulants to make your VATs work faster and stuff like that.
Right.
And you can drink alcohol in that game and get drunk and all that kind of stuff. But a game like Bionic Commando, my mind I can't wrap my mind around why that game would be rated mature. There's just nothing in it that I can possibly think of. And I played through it, the remastered version. I've played through it a couple times, and I don't really understand. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the Big Lebowski of video games. I can't figure out why Big Lebowski was rated R. And I can't. Yeah.
You can't?
Yeah, that's a terrible game.
Yeah. You can't too?
No.
The first, 12 seconds of that movie are rated R, aren't they? Like, it takes long.
That movie, at the time, I think, set the record for F words in a movie.
It did, didn't it? Didn't it break Pulp Fiction's record or something like that? I can't remember exactly.
Which has been
now
broken by Wolf of Wall Street.
You know what? I saw that. I think maybe you posted this, Smelly, at one point, but I keep seeing it reposted, and it's that video of the family that's like all in white, and they're getting pelted with cuss words, and it's like it's like showing like throughout time, like cuss words are like attacking families with paintball guns, and I'm like, wow, you've stretched this analogy as thin as it can get. Has it happened to you? Like, there's just nowhere to go from here. But I get why I get why Fallout games would be rated mature. Plus you can have relationships and stuff like that, but I just don't get why games I don't get why a game like Halo would be rated mature.
No, I've always thought
stupid
that about
cartoon
Halo.
aliens. Like, what the heck?
I have a little bit more insight on the ratings thing. I read that book Console Wars over the summer, and and I really liked it.
I was thinking about reading that.
Oh, it's a great book. Really, really entertaining. But it's all about this guy Tom Kalinske and how he took over Sega and made Sega a big deal in the early '90s and mid '90s. And one of the chapters sort of addresses where he kind of spearheaded the creation of the Electronic Gaming Regulators Board. Is that what it's called?
ESRB or whatever it is.
Yeah. And it was all in response to Senator Lieberman, who was kind of on a witch hunt to demonize video games and stuff like that. And Kalinske, it was just really interesting to read. It wasn't like I guess I kind of assumed that the government said, you guys better do this thing or else we're not going to let you make Mortal Kombat 4. But it was like Lieberman was ratcheting up the heat, and there were congressional committees and things, and Kalinske called up whoever was at Nintendo at the time and said, hey, let's get you and me and a couple of the other guys that are big in the industry, and let's form a little committee and just start releasing ratings on our games. And it felt so arbitrary in the way that it was incepted, and I can only assume that it remains to some degree arbitrary. I think that some of the people that are on that committee are Michelle Obama's on it, Adam Sandler is on it.
Josh Gad.
Any one of Tiger Woods.
Everybody in Pixels. Kevin James.
Yeah, if you're married, if you're in the movie Grown Ups or you're married to the president, you're in it.
Sasha
simple.
and Malia
That's
are
it.
also on it, actually. Jaden and Willow are on it. It's a
Yeah,
really
Mittens,
eclectic
Mittens the
mix.
cat. Any of the first cats are definitely allowed. But
Poochie from The Simpsons is on it.
Poochie.
He's on the way back to his home planet. He's gonna rate games. That's his
So good.
that's his ongoing mission of the Star Trek Enterprise. Yeah, Kirk is on it too.
Definitely.
Zachary Quinto is on it.
No, he's not on it because he's gay.
Right. And he's also been he's been excommunicated from the ESRB then.
From the
is what we're
ESRB,
saying.
exactly.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's arbitrary. I just didn't understand. I guess I should look up and see what the reason is that Bionic Commando Remastered is rated M, because Bionic Commando was a game we all played when we were little, or at least I played when I was little, and it was not a game where my mom was like, "Hey, this looks violent and bad. You should turn this off."
Yep.
Like it was not one of those, and nor was it a game that, like a game like Metroid, when I was really little, would kind of scare me in the way that you get scared when you're a little kid of things that are mysterious and weird, but not in like the way like, oh, I'm so freaked out by this is impossible.
Well,
just more like in that.
When you toss in the Justin Bailey code, though, she does kind of shed that armor, and she's got some curves.
The glorious pixels, yeah, I know,
Samus
right?
has got some blocky little curves.
Yeah, that's true.
Blocky
So
little
I don't
childbearing
know.
hips.
It seems weird to me.
Yeah,
that- But I guess we don't understand it, and that's the end of that, which is basically sums up everything we know about video games. We just don't really understand.
pretty standard. Let's talk about it and conclude that we don't understand it.
And therefore it's bad. If you don't get it, it's bad. That's my usual stance towards things that I don't get.
Yeah.
So hey, I have a question. I know we got to end this, but Smelly, it looks like you got a little head start on No Shave November here. You can't tell, but I'm like using my mouse to circle your face right now to just like focus in on the facial hair.
That's
But
nice.
I'm wondering, Smelly, are you gonna do No Shave November there, Dogs Die? Can you do No Shave November?
I can't. I can do it until next Wednesday. So no.
Well, how
Why?
are you gonna raise awareness for
Ball cancer.
breast? Yeah, bald cancer. How are you gonna avoid getting
Bald people get cancer?
More frequently than you would think.
Yeah.
See, you and I should both be on this then, because
Apparently awareness has not been
we don't need
raised.
hair.
Yeah.
You may run out of yours first, but we're both going to run out of hair. See,
Yeah.
it's happening.
You
It's
definitely
happening.
will.
So,
yes.
poor us, and then look at Smelly's glorious hair. Like that hair is never going anywhere. Like it
No.
looks plastered to his head. Like that's amazing. Like there's no thinning happening at all. In fact, you're getting more werewolf-like as you
I
move
think
on.
it's like Bean,
You're-
but with hair.
Yeah, he reminds me of
It's just
Professor Lupin
thicker
from
and
Harry
thicker.
Potter a little bit. I don't-
Hey, can I make a totally random observation about
Yes.
podcasting?
Yes.
I had like episode 23 of The Brown Show pop up on some random. It uploaded to an Amazon account, and I was listening to random songs on Amazon, and there it pops up. So I listened to the whole episode. And I don't know if you guys have ever listened to old episodes of ours.
Mm-mm.
This really interesting thing happens. We're having a conversation, and there's no way I remember the conversation. There's no part of my brain in which I have locked away somewhere of an actual memory of how this conversation progresses, right? But
Mhm.
I say something, Yoshi says something, Dog's Eye says something in return, and then in my current 2015 brain, I go, oh man, I should make a bean and bacon soup joke right there. And then on the frickin' show, I make a bean and bacon soup joke. It's incredible to me.
Is that awesome or depressing? Like I can't figure out whether that because I'm wondering if I listen to an episode and I'm like, oh, I should make this joke, and then I make that joke on the episode, I'm going to be like, wow, I haven't progressed one bit. I'm like, you can feed me the same input, and I will give you the same output I gave you 7 years ago. Like,
well, I mean, I guess that pretty much explains the difference between yours and my worldview, is that you're really depressed by that fact, and I'm just endlessly amused by it. I think it's the greatest thing ever.
I don't know if I'm depressed or not. It's an interesting notion that we would be able to what is the point of even saying new things then? We've already said it. Like,
We
it
all
makes me
know what
sad.
each other's going to say.
Yeah,
It's
like,
so-
why do we even
I couldn't-
podcast?
And it's happened multiple times since I've listened. I've heard a couple of random episodes, and I find myself pre-joking these jokes, and then they actually get joked. And
Is
it's
there
only
any way that it could be locked away back there somewhere deep in your memory, and it just flickers the right
It
light?
flickered up, right?
I'm going to pay more attention to this the next time I hear one of these shows, because I don't think it applies to what you guys are saying. I don't think I can pre-joke any of your jokes. I think I can only pre-joke mine, and because
Interesting.
it's really odd. I don't. There's a Steven
I'll have
Spielberg
to listen.
movie in
You know
there
what?
somewhere.
I haven't listened to. I cannot remember the last time I listened to an episode of the show. It was definitely before it became Boom. It was a Brown
Right.
episode the last time I
Yeah.
listened to it, and I'm pretty sure it was in like the 30s or something like that of Brown.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't listened to the show in years. I have
Go
no
back.
idea what the show sounds like. So
Yeah.
it would be interesting, I guess. Although the reason I don't listen to it is because when I listen to our shows, and if I listen to flicks the few times I have, I hate it. I hate hearing my own voice. I just don't like it, and it's. I know people think that that's totally counterintuitive because it seems like I love my own voice. I just love talking, and then it comes out that way. And I don't know. I'll listen to an old episode though. I'm curious now that you've said that to see if I will.
Just to be ironic, you should listen to the one where lugubrious was the word of the week.
Was that
Good memory.
the first episode?
It may have been. It was one of the first few. I know that.
Oh man.
I feel like it was one of the first. I feel like it was one of the first words of the week that I had.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
But
And then
Speaking of, what does conflagrate? What does conflagration mean?
I have to listen to this episode now to see how I said it wrong at the beginning because I can't even remember now.
Yeah.
Conflagration, right? Isn't that how it's said?
Yeah, conflagration.
Conflagration. It means a big ass fire, basically.
Whoa.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Scary.
that's why you guys probably know it from like being afraid of hell and stuff, but. I wish you guys could see Dog's Dive's face right now. It's the best.
Funny.
It's just the best.
He's so afraid of hell right now. Look
I'm
at
way
him.
more afraid of hell than you guys, even though I don't think it really exists.
No.
You guys are like, well, if it exists, at least I'm covered. I'm like, well, if it exists, that's not good.
Brr. Oh man.
Separation from, it's not real fire. It's just a separation from God, and I'm used to that, so it's all good.
It's a figurative conflagration.
You're right.
Smelly.
I don't know.
Take us out, because I got to go make myself a sandwich, because
Your social experiment backfired.
it misfired.
I was just messing with your wife. I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't even respond. I'm just walk out, and she's gonna roll her eyes at me like, yeah, like that was gonna happen.
Yeah, Dog's Night's going to do another social experiment now where he goes and domestically abuses his wife for not making him a
Oh
sandwich.
God.
That's a good one,
I
right?
refuse. We have higher standards in the NFL. He would be kicked off this show by now if he was a wife abuser.
Yeah.
We have no Greg Hardys on this show. Okay, this is a Greg Hardy free zone.
This is the
And
Greg Hardy free zone.
Hopefully, a few people get that reference because I know the people I'm talking to are not getting it.
I got it. I get the freaking reference, dude.
You follow Greg Hardy? Okay, sorry.
I follow all kinds of Greg Hardy. There's like 5 of him that I follow.
Yeah, follow. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So
Big Red Barrel Boom. Zombie Sauerkraut said, Colin Firth, for the love of God, Colin Firth.
See
I like
it
Colin
as a bit of a boom.
Wah, 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 wah. All right, stop recording.
Stop the broadcast, too, suckers. Peace.
So what episode is this?